Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts. Today, guys, I'm going to continue the journey of X-Men Evolution. I cannot wait to get into this episode. This is Season 1, Episode 7 of the show, Turn of the Rogue. Now, this may be a spoiler, right? The title might be a spoiler, but I'm hoping that that title is referring to, and I'm assuming it is based on how clear it is in the title, that Rogue is going to be turning against the Brotherhood, against Magneto, Mystique, and all of them, and finally joining the X-Men. We've been seeing it in the intro. We'll see it once again when the intro plays, when this episode goes, where Rogue is there in the shot with the team of the X-Men. Now, in terms of setting up the character or whatever, it makes sense because you had Kitty join up like pretty much right away with her introduction in the episode. Of course, in the pilot, the first episode before that one, you had, of course, Kurt, Nightcrawler joining. And then, of course, you had Spike, which is Storm's nephew, joining the X-Men. So it makes sense to have a character that also in the comics kind of goes, not necessarily back and forth, but joins on the wrong side of things at first, for the most part, in terms of the continuity, whatever continuity they go with in terms of Rogue, if they do an origin or whatever, and then joins the X-Men eventually. So they're doing that essentially here, where we're showing recruits who are recruited pretty much right away to the X-Men and under Professor X and all that. And in this instance, this is actually smart because, okay, we're going to have the one individual who takes some time. So it makes sense on that. So, of course, we had Forge in last week's episode, which was really cool. It was unfortunate for him that he was stuck in what he called the middle verse for like 20-ish years or so. It was kind of crazy how long he's been in there. Maybe we'll see him again, maybe not, who knows. But it was definitely an interesting episode for sure. And to see kind of the Brotherhood teaming up, right? We had Toad, Blob, and Avalanche, and Rogue, nothing to do with it, right? She left. And this is also where they kind of confirmed the Mystique is kind of running things. Now, they didn't say the Mystique is pretending to be the principal, but they did outright say, Mystique sent us to look for you. And Cyclops is like, what? Mystique? You're working with Mystique? And it's like, so pretty much now, that's out in the open now, finally. Because I was even questioning, did they even know that Mystiques are like, now they know for sure that Mystique is around somewhere. They don't know where exactly. But anyways, let's get into now, guys. Let's check out Episode 7 of X-Men Evolution Season 1. Let's go. Wait, is that Storm?
North perimeter secure.
Looks kind of like Wolverine.
I mean,
who are they rescuing?
Storm! She's out.
Wait.
The breakfast of mutants.
Hey!
gotcha.
Oh shit. Ooh.
Hold it! Stop the simulation!
Simply the element of surprise. It's part of life, so expect it on every exercise. Well, we're finished.
I was right.
Get to school.
I was right, okay.
Remember, there are no sporting goods stores in the Tapo Caves. Oh,
okay.
And I better not see any game toys.
Come on, I just got a sweet little game.
Look, how can we pretend she's the enemy in battle simulations while we're trying to convince her to be our friend?
Yeah.
If we can't think of her as a friend, she'll never want to join us.
Well, the thing is, careful. The thing is, Rogue is, that'd be fun. The thing is, Rogue is, like, not really wanting to be with the Brotherhood, per se. Oh.
Have you forgotten how Mr. Summers and his friends attacked you?
Well.
No, it's just that. Enjoy the field trip, dear. It should prove most enlightening.
Something about too many absentee days in your file?
Whoa,
What?
wait a second. Those were all approved.
If they just call Professor Xavier, he'll...
I wish we had the time.
Man, that stinks.
That is terrible.
Who filled her spot?
Rogue.
New student.
Is that actually the weather, or is it... No! No!
Your young charges, they seem to be flourishing under your tutelage.
Yes, they're doing quite well. But I do trust them with my life.
Ooh.
But not with the truth.
Yeah, race powder.
This isn't a snowmobile trip, people.
Yeah,
Too much of
people,
the white stuff
exactly.
means we turn around.
Oh boy. Something tells me they're gonna get stuck or something. Jesus. Well, tell the bus driver to stop drinking.
Now what?
Yeah, now
We
what?
head back.
Exactly.
Why not take our snowmobiles to the cave and wait out the weather there?
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Love that idea.
Love that. 10 out of 10. Love it. No, no, no racing. That could have been bad.
Okay, you know what?
They're scaring these kids. Come on. I think it's okay to have a... Oh, shit. It's okay to have a loser? Ah.
That girl is wiggy. She didn't care what happened to us. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Where'd that come from?
How do you tell students that their principal, whom they're supposed to respect, and their enemy are one and the same?
Okay,
If there's
okay.
anything those kids are used to doing, it's keeping their cool and keeping their secrets.
I thought you were going with them.
Yeah, so did
Well.
I. But I found out Darkholme Deep Sixed me the last minute to make room for her little rogue.
Metamorphic rock. Question? What has
Question?
altered from its original state? Answer: heat, pressure,
You're going off the beaten path. Where are you going?
material. Its deformation.
Oh,
I need
Jesus.
to know, Scott. What
Know
is it
what?
you want from me?
Well...
I don't want anything.
I know all about your battle simulation. The one where I'm the enemy.
Well...
No, wait.
No,
Rogue, it's complicated.
Paul here's your
That's a
friend.
mistake,
But I,
I
bet
bet.
you never practiced fighting him.
I bet that's a mistake.
Lose that bet.
Oh!
Your Mystique?
Something
Okay, we're not
Professor
wasting time.
Xavier neglected
Great.
to
I
tell
love
you.
it.
Nice of him, wasn't it? And I am a sharp blade cutting your strings, just so I can watch you fall.
No! No more secrets!
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Your powers are mine. Your memories are mine.
Okay, finally, she's learning the
Escape us,
truth.
Did you? We cannot lose her.
Oh, okay. That's a he ain't dead.
Don't thank me yet. Look!
Oh, shit. She wasn't out for long. Oh, waterfall. Oh, never mind. Hold on. Oh. They can't catch a break.
Scott, listen. Just hang on.
Thanks. You saved my life.
I owed it to you.
The Blackbird's gonna show up.
Mystique had me pretty mixed up.
Sometimes it's really hard to understand adults. They never seem to trust us.
Here comes the Blackbird, as I said would.
We're moving too slow. Put a little more sunshine, would you?
Let's say a werewolf? They have to know that's a mistake. Okay, because she knew. Okay.
Scott! Scott! I hope you can hear me. We're on our way. Scott! He's hurt.
They're coming.
What? They are? Great.
There you go. There. Go, go, go. Okay, fight the wolf, fight the wolf. Let's go.
Some friendly advice, teach? Don't mess with the rogue.
Oh, shit. Oh, ooh. Of course, bird.
Give it up, Mystique, or you'll be tangling with a Wolverine.
She's like, iron him out.
Hang on.
Let's go. And it's gonna break, yep.
Where's your allegiance, kid? Us or them?
If I don't say you, will I get thrown out of this jet?
Nope, not our style.
Okay. Oh.
It's the same as lying.
We're not
to
done.
us.
I thought we were done.
You had a right to know who our principal really was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not my place.
Sure it is. You're a part of the family now.
Family?
Tell us what you think.
Yeah, tell us. Thoughts, opinions.
Well, that honesty is very important between people you care about.
Exactly.
At least it is to me.
Yep.
You're right. Elements of surprise. Some you're ready to deal with.
Others not so
Some
much.
you're not.
Even though the title was pretty obvious in regards to what the episode was about, I was really happy how they actually handled it, because they actually made a point to address the major thing in terms of Professor X knew that the principal was actually Mystique, right? And then Mystique was on the trip, and then of course Rogue found out by actually touching her and absorbing her powers and basically going through her memories and realizing the truth of what happened the night that she was confronted by Wolverine and the other X-Men, and it was actually Mystique. So I'm glad how they really went about telling the story here, because it's not like where Rogue still has questions or still doesn't know for sure what's going on, like she just has some inkling, but she actually knows now all the information. So it was actually really well done, really handled pretty damn well. So let's go through the episode. I might jump around in terms of how things occur or whatever, or might bypass stuff and then go back to it later. So apologies, but there's a lot of things we have to talk about. So let's talk about it. So first things first, Rogue gets on the trip. It's supposed to be Jean and Scott and then a bunch of other kids or whatever. Well, and also Mystique pretending to be a kid as well. But it's supposed to be them, right? And then, because it opens with the simulation or whatever, which I kind of figured because Storm, like that security guard looked like Storm, and then the other security guard looked like it was Wolverine, Logan, and it was indeed that fact. Now, the one person who actually wasn't there, part of the simulation, was actually Rogue, and that was to throw them off. But Professor X, like, look, I understand there's a lot of things going on, but look, it's all about the element of surprise, because not everything is going to go the way it seems. Like, you may think going into a situation, the outcome is going to be this, or this, but then something might be thrown into the mix that you're not anticipating, and it's going to throw you off. Like, this is a simulation. Imagine if this was a real life situation, not a simulation. How would you handle it? Well, as you saw, it didn't go very well. Everything kind of fell apart when Rogue was introduced as the wild card, a part of this simulation. So, with that in mind, Scott's kind of, confused, because also, too, he was teamed up with Rogue to do that, like, little read-through or whatever. That was kind of a romance read-through or something. And during this whole entire time, they're trying to recruit Rogue, and it's kind of awkward because she's with the Brotherhood, but not really. Because, literally in the middle verse, last week's episode, when she helped them find out that, hey, I accidentally sent Nightcrawler with this device to somewhere else or whatever. But as soon as the actual Brotherhood showed up, Avalanche, Blob, and Toad, she bailed, right? She wasn't going to go over to them and fight the X-Men. She left, right? But she was kind of like, hiding behind some trees, seeing them all exit the room once they saved Kurt and everything, and actually got Forge out as well. But she was kind of conflicted on things. So it was really confusing over the last little bit. But then Rogue gets placed on the bus on this trip, and Jean gets basically excluded. Now, I'm guessing they excluded Jean. Well, Mystique excluded Jean because, well, if she's there, well, Rogue's there. My point of, like, you'll find out who really are your friends and are not. You'll find out for sure, because Jean's not going to be the middle person, because it has to be Scott, right? Because she was the one who overheard Scott specifically earlier in the episode talking about the simulation and how she was there and how he's trying to help her out and trying to be their friend and all that kind of stuff. And everything's just kind of happening in terms of, because as we know, high school kids or whatever, it's complicated shit in terms of relationships. Now you're adding on top of that, they're mutants and they're on opposite sides and everything in terms of, it's a lot, right? So while this is all going on, leading up to the whole bus thing and the whole mayhem and then Mystique revealing herself, we had Magneto show up. And at first, when the storm is raging on and the wind going crazy outside the X-Mansion, I'm thinking Storm is having an emotional moment or something. Maybe there's like a B-plot storyline that we're going to be introduced to where Storm maybe is, worried about something, or maybe it's tying into her nephew Spike or whatever. No, it's actually Magneto. And they have a conversation. And Magneto's like, well, it's like, you don't trust them, with because they're advancing with their powers. And I do trust them with my life. Like, that's not it at all. And it was interesting to have a little conversation there. It was short and brief, but I really enjoyed it. Once again, they're still hiding Magneto's look. I'm kind of annoyed by it at this point, because I just want to see I just want to see his suit. I want to see the full suit, but they're still hiding it. It's kind of annoying, but I really enjoyed that small scene there. It was really, really cool. It was unfortunate, though, that Charles couldn't really do anything. Like, he was stuck in the chair and it wasn't working, and then he got pulled and slammed into when the glass doors that shut and then they shattered or whatever. But yeah, pretty insane stuff there. But hey, they had an interaction, right? So I think they're building that up to be more of a thing maybe later on. We'll see, right? So the bus thing, right? The bus, of course, gets stranded, almost wreck. Cyclops saves the day there. And they take their snowmobiles, and of course, in this instance, Rogue and Cyclops, they have to race. And they have people, and I thought we were going to actually cut to Cyclops or Rogue, one of them using the snowmobile, and the other like, as a passenger, right, behind them or whatever, either or. I was expecting that, but we got a race instead, where Rogue is with a girl and then Cyclops with some guy or whatever, and they're both driving the snowmobiles, and then they, racing, causing craziness. But it was a fun little sequence. I feel bad for the passengers who really didn't know what the hell was going on, but hey, they were just having a little thing, because as we know at this moment, things are still kind of really awkward between them, and this whole thing about the X-Men and the Brotherhood and all that. So then they're in the cave. They get separated, because Rogue goes by herself, and then Cyclops follows, almost falls over, and then here's a guy randomly out of nowhere. Hey, guy, let's go back. And I knew it right away. I just felt it. This is a Mystique. This has to be a Mystique, and it was. And she started to, confront Scott, pushed him off the ledge. Of course, he saved himself, but he fell down pretty far. And that's when Rogue was like, because see, Rogue was conflicted pretty much right away, right, with this whole situation for the last couple of episodes since she was introduced, that pushing Scott off was not going to have her turn the tides to siding with Mystique. She thought that was going to happen, or thought that Rogue would just kind of side with her or whatever ultimately, but no. Because Rogue is the one that's kind of conflicted on everything. She's not like Toad or Blob or Avalanche or even Quicksilver, right? Like, she's really confused about a lot of things. So she freaking touches Mystique and actually holds on, going through those memories, seeing those flashbacks of when she's talking to her guardian or whatever, that woman that was watching over Rogue for those last couple of years. And then, now the one thing they made sure not to address was the one point in the conversation between Mystique and that woman was, she's your, and the Mystique, I know, and stops the woman from speaking more. Mystique like, I know, because she's your blank. So they made sure not to make that, to get to that point. And I think because that's going to play an important role later. And I'm assuming, as I've said during that episode, I'm thinking that Rogue is Mystique's daughter? I don't know. Or Rogue is Magneto's daughter? I don't know. Right? I don't know what they're going to do. But there's something. But they made sure not to, unless I missed it, I don't think that was brought up. Because it was mainly showing, okay, how Mystique manipulated the situation by pretending to be Wolverine, pretending to be other X-Men or whatever, to trick Rogue. And then, of course, it's when she jumps down as Mystique, transforms back to herself, saves Scott, and then Mystique's throwing a giant rock. And they keep going through the whole thing of, like, the waterfall, and they're falling. They're constantly, they can never catch a break. They're on this ice kind of bridge, and Mystique turns into a wolf. And at first, like a werewolf standing on its hind legs, but then it goes down to all fours. And I'm thinking, I'm trying to remember. Because see, in the comics, there's different iterations of Mystique where Mystique can only turn into humanoid forms. But in this instance, she turns into a wolf and an eagle, right? Now maybe, because I've read a number of Mystique comics, or in terms of like X-Men comics with Mystique in the mix, and I'm trying to remember. I don't think I've read one, and I've not read every single X-Men story with Mystique in it, but I don't think I've read one where she can turn into animals too, right? Because see, even though this is DC, Beast Boy, he specifically turns into animals, right? And then obviously as well, T-Rexes and stuff, he can just go crazy, but animals. Mystique, I don't remember there ever being a time where she can turn into an animal, right? So this is a little bit of a different thing here, at least from what I'm familiar with in terms of Mystique, from what I do know over. I don't know, obviously I'm not like a giant Mystique fan to the point where like I know every single detail about the character or whatever, different iterations of the character, but this is definitely new. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. But that's interesting that they do that, right? They show how easily she could transform into humans. We've known that for a while. And now she can transform into animals. So that adds even more of a threat to her, ultimately, because now she can turn into a little bug, I'm guessing, and infiltrate the X-Mansion. How would they know it's her, right? Well, she should be careful. They might kill bugs. They gotta be careful. But it's good that Rogue now finally, ultimately saves Scott. And then, of course, thinks, okay, Scott, open your eyes, shoot lasers in the sky, because that's what the Blackbird could see. I was like, the Blackbird's coming. I'm like, I knew it before they showed. Like, the Blackbird's going to show up, right? Because there's no other way they're going to be saved, right? And that's I was right. But then, it was smart to have Wolverine be the one, right? Wolverine to be the one to ask Rogue if you're on our side or not, because he's like, look, Like, so they're on our side. She's like, but if I don't join you guys, you're gonna throw me out of the plane. No, it's not our style. But it's like it's like we've either earned your trust or we haven't. But see, it'd be Wolverine because see, she thought Wolverine was attacking her because that was the first X-Men that Mystique turned into to confuse Rogue. So having Wolverine be the one again, because before when she showed up to help with the whole Blob episode, he said, hey, because she ran away because she came in and helped save the day and whatever, stopping Blob. But Wolverine stopped. I think it was Jean who was trying to go after her or something. He said, look, it's not the time. But now he's like, look, are you with us or against us? Like, we need to know. But see, it had to be him because that's the person she has to kind of get over that hurdle in terms of this is actually him, not Mystique. Because Mystique was pretending and I believed it. So it had to be him. And then at the end, of course, Professor X realizing I should have told you guys because, you know, Logan, Wolverine was like, look, you should have told the kids that the principal is Mystique. It's like, well, because they're high school kids. Who knows how they're actually going to respond when they now see her in school, right? How are they going to respond? Like, are they actually going to keep cool? And they're saying, yeah, well, we can figure this out. And then Kitty's like, we've been playing with fire. We didn't even know it. Like, basically, we were near the principal, whatever, not realizing how dangerous she really is and everything. Like, we had no idea. So now are we actually going to see them actually keep it cool around the principal? Mystique. We'll see. But Professor X realizes, yeah, I should have trusted you guys for telling me that. I should have. So maybe he's maybe he'll start revealing more secrets. Who knows what those secrets will be? But yeah. But I'm glad that Rogue's now part of the X-Men. She's part of the family, as Spike said. That was kind of nice. No, wait a minute, Kurt said that. I think Kurt might have said that. I mean, it might have been Spike. Regardless, she's now part of the team. That's really cool. Finally, we finally have it. So anyways, what do you guys think of the episode? I'm curious to know your thoughts about this episode, guys. Let me know in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will talk to you guys soon. Can't wait for next week's episode. Peace out.